Hey, yo, what's up, YouTube, man? It's your boy, Ashton Jackson. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Dallas Cowboys practice for Monday. I'm going to be talking about Trevon coming back in pass. That's one of my favorite players on the team. A lot of people, who like the Cowboys, Trevon is one of your favorite players because he's a playmaker, and that's what we need on the defensive side of the football. Especially when there's a lot of offensive playmakers already in this league, you need equal amount of defensive playmakers. Mike is doing what Michael normally does, still being one of the best players in the NFL overall, not just from a certain aspect on defense. Zim is doing a lot of great things in terms of disguising. Our safeties are still playing at a really adequate level, like Marquise Bell, Wanye Thomas. Tolbert looks like easily the best wide receiver. Not saying CeeDee Lamb's name because obviously CeeDee Lamb isn't here yet. Again, needing to hurry the hell up with that. Dak Prescott is still tossing dimes. Reading some things off of Kyle Yeoman's practice notes today, and then offense has seemingly caught the defense. So offense is picking up tempo, what the defense is doing, what they're disguising, and I believe that is really great for Dak because the Niners, Ravens, who else do we play this year? The Browns. So damn near everyone in the AFC North and most of the great teams in the AFC, they always disguise their coverages. And a lot of teams with great defenses, they disguise their coverages. And that's what that's what separates us that's what separates the pack and some of the best teams from us, is that when we're practicing, we're never really practicing against disguises or coverages. It's always been bland defenses for the majority of Dak Prescott's career, like Marinelli, Rob Marinelli, Quinn. What's the other one with the hot sauce in his eye? I forgot his name. Non-respectable when he was here for the Dallas Cowboys. Forgot his name in 2020. And then now we got Zim, who's respectable. Him and Quinn are the most respectable defensive coordinators we've had for the past at least 4 to 5 years. So again, before we hop into the video, I appreciate if you guys like the video. Subscribe if you're new. Comment and share my video with anyone you think will enjoy my content, man. Again, sorry for the long-winded intro. I'll try not to do that. So, again, Dallas Cowboys put together themselves another great practice, and I really love the energy of this practice. I wish this would have been, I've been there from training camps from 2013 all the way up until 2019. Damn, this would have been a really nice year for me to be in camp, only because I felt like now, I don't know what it is. I think it's because everyone's on edge, and a lot of people that are practicing are on one-year deals outside of Trevon and a few others in the rookies and the second, third-year players. I mean, third-year players, of course, are on quote-unquote one-year deals, but a lot of your key guys are on one-year deals. Your coach, your entire coaching staff, your players. I think that's why everyone's on edge and why you're seeing the best out of a lot of people like Dak. You're always gonna get the best out of Dak. I understand he has turned up in the postseason, but this is a team sport, and I'm not gonna keep harping on that. It takes from the organization is going to have to win, coach is going to have to win, players are going to have to win. It's just full team effort to lift up a Lombardi, and there's a lot of fans who don't understand that. So that's fine, right? But again, reading off of Kyle Yeoman's practice notes, again, shout out to him, Calvin Watkins, Patrick Nosey Walker, Nick Harris, and John Machota for all the credit today for the clips, for the notes, everything of that nature. Again, reading off Kyle Yeoman's offense seemingly caught the defense. Again, I talked about that in the intro, except for Micah. He had a ton of pressures. Again, that's something I'm already accustomed to that. Micah's always going to make plays regardless, right? He needs help from his other counterpart in the front seven to help him unlock and be one of the best defensive players that have ever stepped on a football field regardless, because we're going to need linebackers to step up. Corners, I'm confident in our corners as well as our safeties. What is D tackle? What is nose tackle? 3 tech? We're really, I talk about it all the time because I feel like I'm so confident in our linebackers this year. With health, without barring any health, and those guys are healthy for 17 plus weeks, and we can get contributions from Damone, Willie Harvey, just the depth guys, because I already know Overshown, Luafau, and what's the other one? Kendricks. They're going to show out regardless, but I need those guys to step up already. But I need Osa, I need Mozzie. Mozzie's a very key part for what our defense can be this year. Nealon, when he's playing that DN3. D-Law, he's already be great in the run game. I'm not worried about that. Pass rush, I want to expect more because I've seen more but that's just not his job, and that's something he isn't going to get back to. That's fine. But it's fine. We're going to get the defense where it needs to be. I think once Trevon Diggs is ready, look at some of the clips I'm showing right now. Trevon Diggs, in the way that he is moving, he isn't favoring one knee. He's looking very fluid in his hips. He isn't, again, favoring any side. You know, other than the leg sleeve and other than you knowing that he missed last year, if I excluded those two informations from you, you wouldn't have even known had he was coming back from an ACL injury. Again, so he was back in pads, working on combo drills. Dak was throwing the football around. Again, as per usual, that's what's going to happen. Good reps from Bell. Thomas at safety. Tolbert's ahead of the pack at wide receiver. Ryan Flournoy was inserted in today's practice and was making some plays out there with the second team and third team. I was really proud of that as well. And there was a lot of 7-on-7 work today. And I'm glad that I was able to happen today. Again, I think the theme that I'm going to talk about in this training camp video is what really the theme of this season is going to be and what we're going to rely on. I felt like 4, 88, 7, and 11, those are the guys that we're always going to depend on no matter what. I think another thing we need to look forward towards is what does our scheme do this year? Remember, it took us 5 or 6 weeks after that San Francisco game, and once we got our head kicked in, I think that's when all the players, especially offensively, and then the coaching staff really just locked in and said, what are we going to be? Because if we can't compete with the 49ers and they completely embarrass us, what is our season going to be, right? And I felt like they picked it up. We finally said, oh, wow, CeeDee Lamb is our best player on the offense outside of Dak Prescott and Tyler Smith and Zach Martin. What are we going to do? They let Dak and CD cook finally. We didn't use Brandon Cooks about week 10 until we played the New York Giants. So I think if we don't do that this year, basically we're going to depend on our offensive line, our young up-and-coming offensive line. We're going to depend on Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb to get us a lot of out of sticky situations, along with Ferguson, along with Cooks. I believe one thing that we're going to have to rely on towards the latter part of this season will be the defense. How healthy can the defense remain? What does this team organization do come down to the time of around last week of October, first week of November, because they extended the deadline? What day 3 draft capital could you possibly give away to bring in somebody? Because I felt like, and it sucks to say because it's happened every single time we made it to the playoffs the past 3 years, we've always had a major injury between September from Halloween, where the Dallas Cowboys had enough trade. They already knew that they were bad at a position. I'm sorry for that. I already knew that they already knew they were already bad at position in certain years. Like 2022, I feel like we could have gotten a lot better at linebacker. Why didn't you give up a 3rd round pick to pick up a guy like Roquan Smith? Again, another 3rd round pick we could have gave up last year. In my opinion, I know we would have used that to get for Roquan. But okay, cool, you don't want to mess with your defense. Okay, why didn't you just trade another 3rd round pick to get a guy like Jalen Johnson, who was reportedly on the trade block last year? Kevin Boyard waiting for a 5th. I'm not saying those are the goals. Chase Young went for a 3rd. See what type of deals are like that are out there this year to put your team in a spot to compete against San Francisco, against Detroit, because that's what those teams do. That's what the great teams are doing. The great teams are they're never really trading. No one is trading a 1st round pick late October, early November to get a game-changing player, because rarely game-changing players are readily available around weeks 6, 7 when the team's about to blow it up. Rarely ever happens. I know that we did it in 2018 to get Amari Cooper, but again, that was a one-off situation. Again, the most that teams are giving up is a 3rd round pick, but teams are finding great value. They're giving up a 4th, a 5th. We need to find something to do this year in terms of trading for some teams, or trading with some teams to get some guys in the latter part of the year. I also felt like Mike Parsons needs to be unlocked, meaning he needs to be rushing from everywhere on the defense. Damn it, if we need to put him at the nickel spot for him to get open, for him to blow up a quarterback and to take the ball out of his hands, do it. Put him all over on the defensive line. Put him at 3 tech, standing over a guard and a tackle. Same thing, have him standing over a center. have him on, let him roam around the front seven and have him drop back a few times to throw off a defense, have him rush. Like, just do what we, just stay consistent. The thing that absolutely irks me and everybody that covers the Cowboys at a high level, they all talk about, you shown us all these things, whether it's Cavante Turpin at running back in camp, whether it's you keep attacking Jalen Tolbert. He was doing really great against all your really good corners like Deron Bland, Trevon Diggs, Kalen Carson. Why did he only end the year with 400 yards, right? Why didn't we use Cavante Turpin a lot more, knowing that he's a 4.2 speed athlete and that he can run the route tree pretty decently well? And why don't you utilize his speed? Why didn't you move around Dak? Why didn't you move around Micah Parsons? Why don't you move around CeeDee Lamb? Why don't we use consistent motion? Because that's a lot of things, and a lot of times that when the going gets tough, and we're playing against Miami, we're playing against, I'm just speaking about last year, Detroit, San Francisco. It's like we motion and we do all the perfect things versus Washington, lesser opponents, the Chargers, the Jets, the Giants twice, Washington twice. We're not scared of Philly, no matter how good Philly is deemed on paper and how they look like a dream team. We're not scared of them. We'll motion. Our players will come out more chippier, more on fire. They'll act like they're playing for something. But our thing is, when it comes out in January, of course, this is what I'm talking about. Using Cavante Turpin at running back, moving around Micah Parsons, moving around CeeDee Lamb, doing motions, put him in the backfield, put him in slot, put him out outside wide receiver. Just do a lot of different things. Give people different looks and disguises. Run better screens. Move around your corners, because they can play slot and inside, and they can play inside, outside. Do a lot of different things, and I think Zim is going to get the disguising part down. It's what does Mike McCarthy do, Schottenheimer and Dak Prescott are able to do and draw up, and what can Dak Prescott, he's not drawing up the plays, but what can Dak Prescott remind Schottenheimer, remind Mike McCarthy? Can Mike McCarthy and Schottenheimer in this offensive scheme work together collectively as a group? Look past on the regular season what worked and bring that in and bring that playbook from whatever the hell you called from weeks 1 through 18 that worked significantly against really good teams, and you pack that up. You bring all those really good plays, bring that into a playoff practice, and we are working on these plays that work successfully. We're gonna work these plays. We're gonna have backup plays. We're gonna have backups to the backups. We're always gonna have an answer for whatever the hell they want to throw at us. Whether that's Chicago, if we match up against Chicago, we match up against Tampa, because if we don't end up winning the division, if we go into the second round and we have to play San Francisco, we have to play Detroit, we have to possibly play Philly, we're going to get the shit that works, and we're going to put it together, wrap it up, and we're going to use it against these mother effers come down January. That's my thing. So don't show us, all that to say, don't show us all these great moving around. Don't have CeeDee Lamb playing the X, Y, and Z, then all of a sudden come down to playoff time, you only want to line him up on the outside away from the action. You don't throw him the ball. Jalen Tolbert is open on a lot of plays. I need Jalen Tolbert to be like, yo, Dak, I was open. Look for me. And when you do that, make sure you're ready, because Dak Prescott is going to be looking for you the next few plays. If not the very next time they get the ball, he's looking for you. So Diggs, I feel like Diggs is going to be back. He's going to be ready. I need him to be healthy, because I believe when I know when he's healthy, our secondary plays like no other. Seriously, he's the number one wide receiver eraser. He is going to come back a little bit slow because of his knee. It's fine. But once he's ready, he's ready. I'm not concerned about him. They need to get CeeDee Lamb extended, Dak extended. That's better for the video, really. Again, there was a really good practice. I really like what the linebackers were doing today. Again, I'm really intrigued with them, because that was such a big question mark last year, and that was a position that I knew that was going to be a problem. You can look back on my videos when I'm talking about picking up linebackers in free agency. I figured that was going to be a problem with such light depth that we did have. Offense is doing their thing. Micah Parsons is going to be even more of a problem if Zimmer is consistent and he just doesn't show his fluff. What gets us excited in August, come down November, December, January, he shies away from it. Hopefully he stays consistent. Dak Prescott needs to stay healthy. He needs to stay upright. And we're going to see what our defense is about. I'm excited. I already know that we already have a really great group. I want to know, what do we look like schematically? Same thing offensively. That's the better for the video. Hope you guys have a nice day. Stay safe, stay blessed. Bye.